Yo diría que estamos entre 2 y 3. Nuestro país a nivel nacional no brinda muchas oportunidades a las mujeres, sobre todo en el interior del país. En San Salvador, en la capital, pues hay mayor oportunidad a las mujeres, pero esto es, llegaría a un 3, por así decirlo. Tenemos todavía mucho trabajo que hacer e incluso en el índice de progreso social que se hizo recientemente por la Fundación Poma, ahí salía que era uno de los aspectos que nosotros teníamos que mejorar.
I don't know how is it perceived, but I could say that gender equality in Germany is really bad. I would say between a one and a two. It's simply the fact that women have less chance to succeed in especially management careers. It's still really a big problem in Germany that for instance, women have much problems to really cope to fit their private preferences with work requirements.
The government enacted laws to offer more opportunities to women and has been active in empowering the girl child. E.g., the Lady Vice President is one of the good examples, and some of several parliamentary seats are actually reserved for women. Also, this is also happening in the private sector, which we have lots of women in key positions like directors and so on.
Gender equality is getting a lot much better in Cameroon. The positive discrimination policy of the government is starting to pay off. We have a lot more women in executive position in companies.
Acá en El Salvador la licencia se da a las mujeres, es la licencia de maternidad, se da 3 meses, ya sean antes o después, dependiendo del caso del embarazo, y a los hombres en algunas empresas les dan un tiempo de una semana o días, ¿verdad? Cuando toman, pero realmente como tal está todavía trabajándose. El año pasado salió una ley de que iban a dar una paternidad de una semana.
The trend is growing slowly, but it is still not very common for men, at least as far as I'm concerned. Men in our company usually take when they choose to do so. They usually take two.
Well, this is growing in Germany, so we find more and more men who do this. But still, it has a kind of image. So men who have this kind of leave, they are very often perceived as not so tough, or have not so much career aspiration. So I don't think that it's really well accepted, but it's changing currently.
In terms of paternity leave, we don't have that provision at the moment, though we have some relatives at the present moment, but strides are being made to empower women. In some cases, top preference for certain posts is actually reserved for the women.
Actualmente hay no muchas, sino algunas mujeres que tienen puestos directivos. Por ejemplo, tenemos la directora de Microsoft acá en El Salvador, es una mujer. Hay mujeres financieras, casi la mayoría de recursos humanos son mujeres que ocupan puestos directivos y en el área de recursos humanos se convierten en asesoras pues estratégicas, pero siempre es una minoría, ¿verdad? Todavía, como decía anteriormente, hay mucho trabajo que hacer por esta área.
There is definitely a glass ceiling in Cameroon for women, even though it is getting higher, especially in public companies and institutions. Some key positions in the private organization are still mostly held by.
Is it more difficult for women to become a top manager?
it's very, very difficult. We know that women who become top manager, they become very, how should I say, mannish. Yeah? We know in Germany that 70 to 80% of female top managers don't have kids. So they really they shift their priorities from being a mother to being a top manager. And being a mother, taking care for kids is today not possible to really fit with the requirements on top management level. And this is the main problem.
Companies in Cameroon don't consider very much family planning. But from my experience, I can say that employees usually consider the family work-life balance in their career planning.
Many companies at the moment they are actually in the process of considering it. However, there are certain reactions to the amount of maternity leave awarded to someone. Sometimes some other sectors it could be 6 months, which is within maybe a period of 3 years.
Nuestras leyes dicen, ¿verdad?, que nosotros no podemos discriminar a una mujer porque esté embarazada, ¿verdad? O si está planificando, es abierto con respecto a la diversidad. Pero la realidad es otra, ¿verdad? Obviamente las empresas cuando contratan a alguien, pues quieren que sea una persona que pueda dar el máximo, ¿verdad? Entonces algunas empresas sí hacen examen de salud, ¿verdad? Al contratar tanto hombres y mujeres para prevenir pues si las personas están embarazadas o no.
It's it's not really a question in the interview because in most interviews they very much focus on the job related requirements. So it's about do you fit to the job, and it's less about does the job fit to your requirements. So I would say it's also changing. More and more companies got this point that the job must also fit to your private preferences, also on the long run. But I don't see this currently.
Pues sí, los salarios de los hombres son más altos con respecto a las mujeres. Sí hay, no puedo decir que es la mayoría, porque sí hay mujeres que ganan muy bien, pero sí, la mayoría podríamos decir que un 60%, ¿verdad? Los hombres ejecutivos ganan más que las mujeres.
Yes, it does. In Germany, we have typical female position and typical male position. This is also changing, but it's still dominating. So think about nurses. They are mostly female, and there is this common idea which always was there in history that it's not the women who work, it's the men. So if the woman wants to work, it's just because for fun, but it's not for living. So in the market, there was this mechanism that women don't have to earn so much because they don't have to be there for a living. It's just for fun. So that's why nurses don't earn so much. But this is simply not fair because they have much responsibility and so on. They should get equally paid.
Well, about the wage gap, I would say that there is still a gap between men and women salaries. However, the higher you go to the organization structure, the thinner the gender gap is.
Though also we have a situation where we have no wage gap. Wages are based on grading systems, which have nothing to do with gender, e.g., Patterson system and Castellon system.